What's good, mind speakers? Welcome to another episode of Think Tank, where I talk about whatever comes to my mind because that's just how my fucking brain works. Ready? Let's go. Chicago PD was telling us no, but Homeland Security was telling us yes. Sound familiar, Robert? Yeah, because your ass is in jail. You're done. You're in jail. Period. R. Kelly was arrested officially by Homeland Security. Let's get that straight. You are such a danger to American life that Homeland Security had to pick you up. You are a terrorist, just like I said he was a terrorist. Homeland Security had to come and collect R. Kelly for charges that as follows. Let me pull out my list here on my phone because there's so many charges that I can't even memorize them because you're fucking sick. For charges that include production of child porn, sex trafficking, racketeering, crossing state lines for sex with underage girls, and obstruction of justice. And now he's facing 195 years, and I hope he does time in a goddamn half. This is what Time's Up is all about. When the world was smaller, without the internet, when women weren't valued as much, sure, maybe you were able to get away with certain things because people couldn't pin you down and prove it. And even when they could pin you down and prove it, like that video of you peeing on that girl, you were still able to obstruct justice. And even now, that girl who's now a woman is cooperating, Sparkle's niece, the girl that was being talked about in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, she's coming forward and she's helping. All I want, more than I want R. Kelly to go to jail, and I want that pretty bad, I want healing for all of these women, including the other two that are claiming that they're well kept and stay at the Trump and they don't understand. Distance from R. Kelly can do nothing but good for those two girls to be able to start to unpack the trauma and to be able to deal. I mean, I can't imagine being in this situation. I might tell myself what I have to tell myself to survive too. And I think denial is a part of the stage of going through that, so just give them the opportunity to go through it and to process all the stages of abuse. Because right now, they're in denial. On top of that, R. Kelly was also denied bail, which means he tried to get out, but the answer was motherfucking no. This is just great. They got you now, R. You're done. And apparently the reason why they even started this investigation was because of Surviving R. Kelly. So everybody's saying, oh, this is just for clout. There's no reason for this documentary to even happen. Why is it 3 parts? Guess what? If you scream loud enough, somebody's gonna hear it. It fell on the right ears. And finally, they caught a criminal. To me, the best part of this whole thing, even more than R. Kelly going to jail, because you know we're gonna have to find a joke somehow. R. Kelly's attorney said in court this statement: unlike his most famous song, Mr. Kelly does not believe he can fly. How could he flee? He has no money. There's no evidence that he is a risk to minors at this point. So a couple things. That's a trash bar. Like, if I heard my lawyer say that, I would be literally looking like, what? Like, if that bar is garbage. So you already set yourself up there. There's no evidence that he's a risk to minors at this point. So now what you're saying is, no, maybe before, maybe when he had money, and if he gets out and gets the opportunity to get money, maybe he may be a risk to some minors. But right now, because he's poor, you should let him go and let him out on bail because he's not a risk as long as he's poor. You definitely don't have any money if that's the lawyer you hired because he just talked your ass into a deeper corner. So bye, R. Kelly. I hope that you at least have a friend that can smuggle you in some Astroglide, because you gon' need it. You know, when Disney decided and when they said, we're gonna remake The Lion King, everybody looked at Disney and was like, I hope you realize how tall of an order you have. Like, this is the big boss bitch for us. So if you're gonna remake this, you know how good this shit has to be. And Disney said, hold my beer. Motherfucker, The Lion King was phenomenal on levels that I didn't expect. In fact, I was sitting in the theater, right? And when the first song comes on, Circle of Life starts and he goes, whatever that is. And I was just kind of like, oh God, here we go. Like, I was trying to be like over it and bigger than it. And then all of a sudden that first scene, it just overcame you. They found a way to make me not be able to be cooler than that experience of that movie, and that is really fucking hard. I was in it. My favorite thing about The Lion King is it's one of the best stories we have as humans to tell, right? Because it's got so many elements of humanity. The ecosystem being in balance, life being in balance, it's got spirituality, it's got destiny. There's so much about that story. Love, there's so much about that story that matters. Jealousy, and for them to be able to capture it and recapture it in a way to do that story justice, now that story, that movie is going to live for like another 100 however many years or whatever. Like, that movie was phenomenal. The only thing I maybe would have wished would have happened is that maybe Beyonce could be a little bit better of a voice actress. I'm just saying, I had a little bit of flashback to Obsessed when Beyonce was supposed to be angry that that woman came into her house and touched her child and she really couldn't channel the rage. I wanted Beyonce to really channel the rage in the "Are you with me, Lions?" and when they were all fighting, getting ready to take Scar out. I would have completely loved if Beyonce was able to really get mad, and I don't feel like she got into that grit. I feel like she was too cool. But everything else she really did well. I mean, it was a perfect movie. So a comedian named Dina Hashem did a special on Comedy Central of some sort in which she told a joke about XXXTentacion's death. Now, is death funny? No. But there is a piece of comedy that is the art form of finding something to make you laugh at something that inherently is not funny to your core. I think that's the point of comedy in a way. To some people, and some forms of comedy, is taking the things that really cause that innate disgust in your sternum and making you find joy in those things. For people who genuinely experience a lot of pain, because a lot of comedians experience a lot of pain. So what we do, and I say we because I do have a comedic spirit, is we take these things that are horrible and we find a way to laugh at them. Because realistically, you have no choice. Sometimes it's laugh or die. So what this woman did was she took the scenario of XXXTentacion's death. The joke was this. She explained XXXTentacion, he was a rapper who was killed when he was carrying $50,000 in cash to go buy a motorcycle or something. And he was killed for the money because they knew he was going there and they knew he had the money on him. And she said, all I could think was, this would be a brilliant Venmo commercial. And I thought it was hilarious. I immediately laughed because she took something, the death of XXXTentacion, which is not funny, and was able to find something that would make it funny. Not funny in like a haha he's dead, but funny in a haha I get it, you're talking about money, Venmo, that lineage, right? And everybody got upset and all the XXXTentacion fans were like, how dare you, and all that other shit. Okay, here's my deal. If you don't like comedy, just don't watch comedy. If you don't like that type of humor, don't participate in that type of humor. But you're not gonna stop that type of humor from happening. I do feel like people were just upset because it came from this white lady and they didn't want to hear it. Also, maybe Comedy Central airing it may be a bit much. Maybe if she took that joke on tour, it would work a little bit better. But I didn't think the joke was bad. I instantly laughed. Laughing is involuntary. You do not have to think about laughing. I laughed instantly. And when I heard it, it was packaged like, this joke is so offensive, and I still laughed. But another thing, last year when XXXTentacion was canceled for the abuse allegations, the X fans were saying, oh, he should be able to make music and y'all are being too sensitive and Well, funny how sensitivity works when it applies to you. Because I laughed. More often than not, I'm probably sitting in my room thinking about life. And the other day I was doing that because that's often just sit around and what I do. And I sit and I think that I'm genuinely just an anxious person. There's never a time that I'm not gonna be anxious. I'm always sitting around thinking about ways things could possibly go wrong, things that could be horrible, that could alter the course of my situation in my life, because that's just what anxiety does to you. And I think that when anxiety does that to you, it's basically saying you have a plan and something outside of your control is going to completely fuck this plan and you're gonna have to completely audible. And then you're gonna be like, fuck, 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 and nothing's gonna end up right because everything's gonna be fucked, and then before you know it, you're selling hot dogs out of a taxi. So, here's my point. Anxiety does that to you all the time. But my thing in life is things never go right. And I always find a way to make it. So for my people with anxiety that deal with the same things I do when they're on a course or trying to make something happen and don't know what's going on. I know a lot of creative people have this problem. I'm one of them. So why don't you give yourself credit for your ability to adapt? Like, realistically, this is my Audible. Like, I do pretty well on YouTube for myself. It has its high points, it has its low points, but I'm not afraid to say that I'm pretty good at what I do and I love what I do, and I actually, like, am proud of it. So all I want to say is, if you really possess the ability to adapt, to become that chameleon, to be able to just say, oh, it's blue, so here I am going to be blue. Oh, it's red, so here I am going to be red. And to be able to move and change and have some fluidity within yourself, you really don't have to worry about things going wrong because you know you will be able to adapt to your circumstances and make something work out. So when I think about my ability to adapt, it really does calm my anxiety. And this really wasn't supposed to be a funny segment. This is just me being real with y'all. So please focus on your ability to adapt to your circumstances, because circumstances will change. Shit's gonna go wrong. Something's gonna fuck up. But can you adapt? That's the lesson the retrograde has taught me. You gotta be able to adapt. Quick audibles. Figure it out, but still stay on your course. I think I owe Blac Chyna the hugest apology. I think I owe Blac Chyna the biggest apology I've ever owed anyone, because in the beginning of this channel, I wasn't really a fan of Blac Chyna and the way she was acting and always being on the news. It was getting on my nerves. Like, I wasn't necessarily team Rob, because I know Rob's a mess, but I was just saying in general, like, it was just a lot of Blac Chyna at that point in time, and she was doing a lot, and they were just doing a lot, and the E show was stupid. But now she has a show on the Zeus Network, which I will not be paying for, but I did see clips of her fighting with her mother. And Blac Chyna, girl, I'm so sorry. I cannot imagine the abuse Blac Chyna has endured at the hands of Toni. The abuse, she was complaining about the neglect. And here's the thing with toxic parents. When toxic parents realize that you have transcended their toxicity, what they try to do is make you feel small. They try to bring you back down. And you could see Toni in that argument. If you haven't seen it, it's somewhere on Twitter, so go find it. But you can see her trying to shrink Chyna. She called her a whore. She told her she had nothing. She told her she was nothing. She had nothing without Toni. And when Blac Chyna was trying to bring up valid points as to how, hey, you've made me feel like this didn't matter, or you weren't there for me, she immediately went to fighting and calling her disrespectful. And that's why Blac Chyna brought the bar out and said, this is why I'm about to break the cycle. King and Dream will never see this. Bye. Chyna, good for you, girl. That's all I can say is good for you. I'm beside myself. I'm actually upset that I had to see that, because I came in here, and you know me, I came in here ready to make jokes. But when I saw it, it genuinely upset me. It genuinely made me upset. And I'm surprised that Blac Chyna even has Toni in her life. And Toni is lucky as hell that Blac Chyna has it in her heart to allow that into her space, because she would be the fuck out. Long handle spoon. Toni went as far to say, and I quote, "I don't care what your mama did to you. I don't care if she sold your pussy to an army. You still better respect your mama." And this is a problem with a lot of black families. Y'all think that blood and being an elder is the end-all be-all, and that you can be shitty to the people that are related to you, because at the end of the day, you have that to fall back on, is that we're related or that I'm an elder. And to that I say, suck my motherfucking dick. If you ain't gonna be a good person, blood don't mean shit. I think I've said that on this channel before. And I saw on Twitter, it was a quote that says, blood may be thicker than water, but blood ain't thicker than my peace. And you better say that again, because it's really not. So shout out to Blac Chyna, man. She's had a lot on her plate and a lot on her back, and obviously has had a lot on her back for a very long time, and ended up in that position with that as your mother. Cool motherfucking doze, because me, I don't know what I would do. I really don't. So there are a group of Americans who I'm sure most of are not black that have decided to think that it is smart to storm Area 51 to look for evidence of aliens. Now, if you don't know what Area 51 is, what I think Area 51 is, because I heard a piece of this guy named Bob Lazar talking about it on the Joe Rogan podcast, but not much. Area 51 is basically a place in which the United States government keeps all their evidence of life outside of Earth, right? Like aliens and shit. So basically, people want to know, well, what really is there? So they think they're going to form an angry mob to storm Area 51. Area 51 is a place that is protected like a military base. So what exactly do y'all think is going to happen? Do you think that the American government will not waste you? Because they absolutely will. I do not think that the American government is as afraid of killing the civilians as we like to believe it is. Because if you've ever been to DC and you've seen that sniper on top of the White House, he's waiting for you to even start the single ladies choreography, because if you even start, you're out of here. So I don't know what people are expecting, but let's play along. Let's say you do somehow get into Area 51. What do you think it looks like? Do you think it's just like Disney World and all of a sudden it's just like, wee, and like, you think it's like the Museum of Natural History, things are gonna be labeled? No, it's gonna be fucking weird. And y'all think you're going in there to meet an alien. Now, I seriously doubt they have any live aliens in Area 51, but let's play along and say they do. Why do y'all think this is gonna be like Experiment 626 or 627 or Pleakley or Xenon the motherfucking sequel? It's not gonna be any of those things. Whatever is kept in there, by common sense, wouldn't it be kept in there? Because if it gets out, it's gonna fuck up me, you, Oprah, Beyonce, Blue Ivy, and the rest of the planet. Some shit just don't need to be touched, and anything in Area 51 does not need to be fucked with by me. Now, I would love to know what's there, but they ain't never gonna tell us, so I kind of like gave up on that a long time ago. But realistically, y'all trying to storm it, all that's gonna happen is you're all gonna be arrested. So on Friday, Nicki Minaj released her remix to Dababy'S Suge. So I had a couple points about Suge. So before she released Suge, she did a takeover on Power 106 out in LA, which I thought was good, because it was like, okay, reestablish your relationship with radio, that's cool, but also maybe she's not allowed to put those remixes up or play them on Apple Music anymore, because that's technically streaming and you can't stream that stuff. So she has to take those freestyles to radio stations, I guess. I really think it was that. I think it was more of a, you're not allowed to do this anymore thing, which is like, whatever. She took him over to Power 106, and when she talked about the new album, what she said was, she's having an executive producer, which I'm so excited for, because what I said was, I want Nicki to work with an executive producer. I said that in my What I Want From Your Faves in 2019 video in January. I said I want Nicki to work with an executive producer because I feel like she does too much herself. And if she works with someone whose job is to do the beat, then watch her do the words and then it'll work out. Like, I feel like Beyonce may have pointers when she's dealing with certain people with choreography or maybe styles. She has pointers, but realistically, she works with artists who have visions of themselves. And Nicki Minaj does a lot alone, and she shouldn't have to because her job is the words. And when she came up, most of the time, she was rapping on beats that were already done. So my thing is, I just want to see her be able to do that, and we're gonna have a great era that way. But a lot of people seem to think that the executive producer is gonna be Kanye. If it's Kanye, I vote motherfucking no. I vote no. Absolutely not. The 7-song EPs from last year, they all were just like, okay. Teyana Taylor didn't even get to clear hers, which is like, what? Nicki's not even gonna be able to trust Kanye, which means she'll end up doing too much again, and then it's not gonna work out. And even Rihanna had to get rid of Kanye. Before Anti was Anti, Kanye was supposed to be executive producing it before Rihanna just said, no thank you. If Rihanna says no, I too say no. How do I feel about Suge? I like it. I mean, it's always good to hear from Nicki. Nicki always has bars. I just wish it was longer. Like, I wish she would have just taken it if she was gonna do it. Here you had two options. Either do it back in April when we said to do it, which now we're getting it a little late because Suge's on his way out. But let's make it longer. Let's make it a whole down in the DM moment. Let's make it a thing where you just completely freak it and flip it. Calling a whole radio station interview for 50 seconds of bars, it's like, don't be that boss that calls a meeting when it could have been an email. Like, you could have put that directly into my Twitter feed and I would have been like, whoop, download, thank you, Nicki. Like, I didn't need a whole 2 hours of listening to Power 106 for that. But one thing I'm gonna say is, and this is my opinion, so you don't have to agree, have any of you even seen Dababy even like mention it or value it or care? Because I haven't. There's not been a post of it, not even on the Insta story, not even something that's gonna delete it in 24 hours. And that's my thing, is like, I feel like Nicki Minaj should do songs of people who are gonna appreciate the music, and there's tons of girls who are even better than these niggas. Dababy's one of them who's actually really good. He's one of few for niggas. And there's tons of girls with records who could have been free. Like, if she would have done Simon Says or My Type, that would have gone dumb. And no, you do not have to work with them. I heard that already before. But you didn't have to do the Young M.A thing. Let's say she would have done some other girl's record. It would make that girl's day. She wouldn't be able to not post it. You know what I mean? Like, it would make her world. So my thing is, instead of wasting time on people who don't show love, just go where the love is. Like, these girls, a lot of these girls are just waiting to give Nick love, and I would just love to see her receive that love. And if she would have done one of their songs, or does one of them in the future, because it's not over, I guarantee you they'll post it. I guarantee you they'll love it. I guarantee you they'll be grateful, because Dababy don't give a shit. Anyway, y'all, it's hot in here, so we just gonna move it along to Put You On, because I need to cut that AC back on before I pass out. Let's talk about Put You On. First of all, if you want to put me on any music, hit me up on all my social media. I'm everywhere at 20 Days of June. And also, don't forget to look at my merch store, because I have tons of merch options and dope shirts and shit for you. So, let's get into Put You On really quickly. One song, Long Way by Mulatto, off her new project. It's awesome, it's so cute, love that song. Second song, Gallant and Sinead Harnett have a song called Pulling Away, and it is awesome. It feels like a gust of wind just smacking you in the face during a hot day, which is really what I wish would happen to me right now, but it's not. So those are two songs that I want to put you on. Also, don't forget, if you ever want to look at the music that I'm listening to, I have a playlist up on Spotify called Summertime Fine, where all these songs are already in. So go join Summertime Fine and you'll be able to see in real time what I'm adding, what I'm listening to. It's all there. The link will be in the description box as well. Alright, y'all, that's it for this week's Think Tank. As usual, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce.